To start a new field, go in here and change the field name, define a new field. And hit accept. And it's going to close the old field. Hit accept. Now, we're going to need to go to, this should still be okay. Home page 1 of 5. To record our boundary, we'll start right here. Make sure I'm going to be going around counterclockwise, so I want the right side's going to be against the outside levee. So I want the arrow to be facing the outside. If I want to change it, I just have to flip-flop. But I want it to be on the outside. I'm going to push start record, and I'm going to start recording my boundary. I usually always start in the corner, so I'm going to start recording my boundary without planting because I'm going to set an AB line. Once I get to where I want to set my AB line, I'm going to set my AB line without planting first. This is my first pass. So I'll hit set track. I'm going to hit new. I'm going to define this as number 1. Hit accept. I'm where I want to set my A, so I'm going to go ahead and set my A point, and I'm going to say set B later. I'm at the opposite end of the field now of my first pass that I want to plant, and I'm going to hit set B. And so I'm not going to turn the steering on because I'm at the corner, and I'm going to immediately turn and start planting my headland pass. My recording is still going on here. So I'm going to set another track, and I'm going to call it new, and I'm going to call it number 2, and this will be my first headland pass. Hit accept. I won't set my A till I turn the corner. I'm going to go ahead and drop my drill. It's on number 1. And where I want to set my A, so I'm going to set an A, and I'll set B at the other end of the field. I have the auto shift transmission set to number 13, so I can hit the A button here, and it's going to start auto shifting up to 13. I've got the max RPM set at 1,660. Gets us about 8.3 miles an hour. So if you just adjust the throttle, it's going to automatically shift up and down. Now I'm on the third side of the field. I'm going to set a new track again for the third side. I'm going to try number 3, accept. I'm going to set my A point, drive to the other end, set my B. I'm comfortable where my B is at, so I'm going to go ahead and set B, and I'm going to accept it. And then I'm going to turn auto track on and hit the auto button for it to guide. So now it's steering, and it's still recording the perimeter. My last headland is not going to be straight, so I'm going to attempt to set an adaptive curve. So I'm going to change to page 2 of 5, change from straight tack to adaptive curves. and I have to start a record. So I'm going to record this. That way when I get done, I'm going to stop it so that when I turn around, those lines will be defined. I'm finished recording the headland that was crooked, so I'm going to stop my adaptive curve. And I'm going to go back to page 1 of 5. And I'm back to my point where I started recording my boundary, so I'm also going to stop my boundary. And it asks if I'm sure I want to end my boundary, and I say yes and accept. So it's going to process that. Now if I go to page 2 of 5, it's going to tell me I've planted 4.71 acres of the perimeter. If I go to page 4 of 5, it gives me that there's 77.7 acres left to plant. We've already planted 4.7, so this is basically 81.4 acres in this field. Make sure when you get started the swath control button is checked, and basically now we're ready to start. Since I've got this adaptive curve and it's a pretty curvy top end, I'm going to plant 3 headland passes, so I'm just going to leave it on adaptive curves and turn around and go back to that adaptive curve. But if you wanted to go to straight guidance, you just go in here and go back to straight track and set track and choose which track. The first one I have there is the first one I set on. That's the one I'm going to plant by. Number 2 is my other headland pass. Number 3 is the opposite side of the field. So I'm going to choose number 1 for now, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to end up going back to the adaptive curve. Alright, that's it. Oh, on the command arm, if you hit the menu button, you can look in here under the engine. I've got my max RPM set at 1630. If you hit on the side of the throttle where there's a little button here, that sets the max RPM to match the monitor. Now, if you want to max your transmission speed, you would go to transmission, get it going the speed you want, or the gear you want, and then you would hit set. Right now I've got it set for 13, which gets us to about 8.3 miles per hour.